It's Friday, which means it's another Learn to Crochet day. So like I said last week, this week we're actually going to start working on a pattern that includes a graph. So last week I went on ahead and showed you all the graph that we're working on. So if you look over here, the graph that we're working on, it's actually a heart shape. So we've got the heart shape here, and what I've done is I've actually just went through and I actually just trimmed the graph down, and I've taped it all together. Not very well, but it's no big deal. But this is just going to be kind of used as a guide, just to let us know where we're at. I also have the written pattern as well. Now for this graph, as you can see on the graph, we've got white, or whatever color you're using, then another color, and then the same color again. So what I'm going to be doing now is, once we get up to here, I'm going to have one ball of white yarn for this side, then I'm going to have the main color in the middle, and then one ball of white over here on the side. So I'm doing white and pink. So I've got two separate balls of white yarn. That way you're not having to carry over so you don't see the yarn through. Now that's one way you can do it. So you can have a ball over here, then the ball for your middle color, and a ball over here. Or for larger, more detailed blankets like what I'm working on now, I actually have it set up over here. And what I actually do is I will take some yarn and just cut it and wrap it around a clothespin. And so then when I go to flip my blanket over, I'll just pin the clothespin to the blanket, so that way my yarn isn't getting all tangled and twisted. So that's one way that I keep everything put together on bigger blankets. But since this blanket's not being moved anywhere except for this room, I'm just going to do the two balls of white into the one main color. So you all can use whatever color you want, whatever kind of yarn you want. We are going to use a size H hook. I'm just going to use baby yarn because that's what I have the most of. And so what I've gone ahead and done is I've went on ahead, the pattern says that we need 100 watts. So I've went on ahead and done the chain of 100 just to get started. Now you all can decide, if you want to do single crochets to make it more tighter. You can do half double crochets, or if you can do the half double crochet so the holes in between aren't as big, or you can just do regular crochet. That is completely up to you. For this particular one, I'm actually going to do half double crochets. So in order to do that, I've already done my chain 100. If you are doing single crochets, what you will do next is you've done the chain 100. For a single, if you're doing single crochets, you'll just chain one, you'll just pinch at that chain 100 that you've done. This is just for single crochets. You will chain one more, and then you will go into that where your finger is, do a single crochet, and do a single crochet all the way down, which should be 100 single crochets. Now if you're doing a half double crochet like what I'm going to do, you're going to pinch, you're going to chain two, and then go into the one where your finger is and do half double crochets all the way around for 100. If you are doing double crochets, you will pinch and chain three. So that's a chain one for single, a chain two for doubles, a chain two for half doubles, and a chain three for doubles. The reason we do that is that just kind of evens out the making it grow up. So you want to make it grow taller, and by doing that, that kind of equals, if you will, the stitch that you are working with. So like I said, I'm going to be doing half double crochets. I've already done my chain 100, just going to keep my fingers here, and I'm going to chain two more. Then I'm just going to wrap my yarn around and go into that stitch where I had my fingers and do a half double crochet. So then we're just going to yarn over like we would a double crochet, but then we're going to wrap our yarn over and pull through all three loops. So now we've done that, we're just going to again continue all the way down for 100 half double crochet. So there's two, and there goes the cat, but it's no big deal. Three, the cats decided they wanted to come in here tonight and play as well. So sorry for if you hear the cats doing whatever it is cats do. 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish all the way this row up, and we should have 100. this part takes the longest out of everything. I'm just trying to get all the stitches into the chains. And while I'm doing this, if y'all, are re-watching this, y'all can just fast forward it. Do apologize it takes so long. I'm just trying to show y'all how each step is done. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and as you all can see, the blanket is kind of starting to spiral a little bit. That's no big deal. You can always just straighten it out, and then once we start building up, it'll straighten itself out to where it won't have that spiral anymore. Yeah, I do apologize for it taking so long. This is the part that takes the longest, just trying to match every stitch up with every chain. Alright, we're about halfway there. Just bear with me for a little bit longer. And then trying to make sure that your arm's not getting tangled up around table legs also ends up being a little challenging at times too. So I do just want to remind you all that these shirts, if you all want one, let me know, because we are going to try to get some of them together to be able to sell. Also, if you haven't already, go on my Facebook page, and then I'm going to try to, if everything goes as planned, tomorrow night at 5 I'll be going live on there I'm needing to clear out some of my summer inventory to make room for new fall and winter items. So tomorrow night at 5 I'll be going live on there and kind of doing like a live summer sale. I'll show the items, kind of explain it a little bit, and give the sale price. If you all want it, all you will have to comment. I'll tell you all what to comment on there. I'll be like, hey, I have this for sale. If you want it, comment this word. But if you all order anything, I also need to make sure that you comment your emails as well. You don't have to do that once. That way I can get the invoice sent to you so you can get those paid. And then once the invoice is paid, I can get with you on, if you want them shipped, picked up, however y'all want to do it. But that's going to be tomorrow night at 5, so don't forget. Alright, we're almost done. Okay, so that gave us 100. So right there was our row number 1. I'm just going to go over here, and if you look at the written pattern here, so row number 1 was 100 watts. I'm just going to mark that out. But now row number 2, it actually tells you how many of the first watt to use, how many of the next color, and how many of the next color. So what I do, how to keep up with this, is I will actually, you know, after I do my 49, I'll just come through and just mark that out. So that is no longer there, and all I can see is the rest of this. And then once it all gets out, I'll come and mark the row actually off. Now, if we go back over here to the graph, I don't necessarily go through and mark, you know, each individual row out. I'll do a few rows and then take like a highlighter or ink pen, and then say we get to row 11, which is right here. I'll actually just go with, usually with a highlighter, go all the way across, mark it out, and then just kind of scribble below it the section here, and that kind of tells me, you know, where exactly I'm at. So let's go ahead and get started with row number 2. So we're going to get started with row number 2. Again, if you're doing single crochets, you're going to chain 1. If you're doing half double crochets, you're going to chain 2. And if you're doing double crochets, you're going to chain 3. So since we're doing half doubles, we're just going to chain 2, and then we're going to turn our work. So if we look back at the written pattern, it says that we're going to have 49 in this first section. So we've chained our 2. We're going to actually go into this first stitch here. This chain 2 does not count as a stitch. The reason we do this is just so that way we can grow up with it. So we're actually going to go into this first stitch here and start our half doubles. So there's 1. And we're going to do 49. Oh, there goes. Thought the cat was going to try to jump on something. She's thinking about it. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so I said we needed 49. I've gone ahead and done 48. The reason I've done just 48 is because I'm going to show you all how we need to change the colors. So we've done 48, but we need to do 49. So we're just going to do like we normally did with the next one. We're going to yarn over and get everything ready. Here, how we would normally do it is we would just yarn over and pull through all 3. However, since we're needing to chain colors, we're just going to drop it down. We're going to pick up our next color, wrap it around our finger like that, grab it, make a loop, put it on our hook, and then we're just going to finish off this stitch with the new color. And then we're going to go over here to our pattern, mark off that section, and then the next one is just going to be 1 one stitch in the new color. So again, we're just going to wrap our yarn over, go into the next stitch, and the little tail here, we're just going to work across it. Now since we're only doing one stitch in this color, again, you're not going to completely pull all the way through. You're going to pick up the next color that you're using. In this case, it's the same as before. And again, just going to wrap our yarn over our finger, place it on the hook, and then finish off, and then come over to our pattern and mark it out. So now we have, with this new color, we have 50 stitches. So we're just going to hold the new yarn, and then the two ends here, we're just going to hold them on top and just work through. So we're going to go into the next one and start our 50. And I always like to, once we get to this point with the color that we just worked and just dropped, I just like to give it a little tug, make sure it's nice and snug. And then we're going to continue on with our 50. Just making sure to work over those ends. Okay, we're almost done. Alright, almost there. Alright, so here's 49. So we need 50. So what we're going to do is just make sure, so you should have the chain 2, the chain 1, chain 2, chain 3 space here that you did. So you're just going to go into that space for that last stitch. So that equals 50 to come out to the 100. So now that we've done that, we're just going to go back to our written pattern, mark that section off, and mark that row off. So again, in order to build up, we're just going to chain 2 and turn our work. Now as you can see here, right in the middle, you can see that we've got our little yarn strands here. So when we come back, we're just going to stop, pick the next one up, work, and then pick the next one up. So as you can see here, here is the tip of our heart that we're doing. We've got the white on both sides and then the pink. So we're actually going to, I know that took a little while, we only did a few rows. We're going to stop there for tonight. But what I want you all to go ahead and do is you all can, if you all are wanting the written pattern and the graph, to be able to go on ahead and go farther in the pattern, let me know and I can get that sent to you. So what we're going to do is you're essentially going to do the same thing for the next row. Starting over here on this side, you're going to do 49 in the white, 2 in the pink, and then 49 in the white. So when we come back next week, I'll just go ahead and pick up from where we left off and show you all how to do that. Again, if you want the written pattern and the graph, let me know. I can get that sent to you all so you can have a copy of it as well, so you all can go on ahead and work ahead if you want to, because I know just showing this, that's taken about 20 minutes. But you all can go ahead and work ahead if you want to. That's fine. Again, if you all do want shirts, let me know. I'm going to try to get some ordered. Because as you can see, this one we kind of did just with we printed off the printer with iron-on paper, and we ironed on that way. And as you can see, it's a little worn out. I've worn it a lot. But we're going to try to get some done more professionally made. So if you want one, let me know, and I can try to get those ordered and get them sent out for you. I can let you know how much they'll be. Once I have a few people want some, and then I'll contact the person that I need to and see how much they'll charge, so that I can know how much I need to charge. There is one thing though that I do really want to ask of you all. I know I normally don't do this, but I have a prayer request that I'd like to ask you all, to pray for. I'm not going to go into any detail about anything. Just know that there's a prayer request for our family. We need a lot of prayers right now. I'm going to go ahead and say I appreciate it. Just remember us when you go in prayer. Other than that, make sure to go to my Facebook page tomorrow night at 5, my actual Facebook page, not the group, the actual Facebook page itself, at 5 tomorrow night, Saturday, August the 1st. If everything works out and everything's fine, we will be doing a live where I will actually be selling things on Facebook. So be sure to tune in then, and then next Friday, he will be here, same place, same time, hopefully. And we'll just pick up from where we left off and continue on. So, again, just want to thank you all for everything. Have a great weekend and happy crocheting.